All right, Adam, tell us all about Beacon Hill. Why do people want to live here? What's so desirable with this area?
So Beacon Hill is a very desirable area in Boston. It's one of the oldest areas of Boston, one of the most European feeling areas of Boston. So a lot of cobblestone street, the old gaslit street lamps, lots of brownstones. You're not going to find single family homes or traditional three deckers in Beacon Hill. It's all pretty much brownstones that have been converted to condos or that have remained, large individual homes, but in a brownstone format.
What do you mean by brownstones?
The first thing that comes to mind is, remember that the Cosby Show back in the day, that family lived in a brownstone. It was a large building made up of stone, not of timber or metal or steel or whatever. It's basically how they built homes back in the good old days. You see them a lot in Brooklyn, New York, and other parts of Boston as well. And they call them brownstones because they tend to be brown, but they're just built out of stone. It's a very expensive part of Boston. It's real estate wise, it's one of the most expensive areas of the city. Both to rent and to buy. Your price per square foot there is going to be very high. Kind of nestled in between the Charles River and Boston Common. So location-wise, it's a great spot. You're super close to everything. You are within walking distance to the river, to the Esplanade. You can walk into downtown Boston proper, to the Boston Common, to the Financial District, to Back Bay. So location-wise, it's great. If you think of it like a tree trunk, Charles Street is the trunk of the tree. That's the main thoroughfare. On one end is where you have the Red Line, the public transportation. MGH, the Mass General Hospital, is at that end of that end of the street. And at the other end of the street is Boston Common. So off of the trunk of the tree, you have all the branches, and those are all the smaller side streets to get to, that go to people's homes. You have Beacon Hill is on the backside of the State House. So of course, Boston is the capital of Massachusetts, and the State House is at the top of Beacon Hill, and then sort of Beacon Hill kind of flows down towards the river and the Boston Common from the State House. As I alluded to earlier, Mass General Hospital is also in Beacon Hill. It's one of our world-renowned hospitals. And you also have a really cool hotel in Beacon Hill. It's an old jail that was converted into a hotel, a really nice hotel. It's kind of a place where you go to be seen and to see. Beautiful architecture. And that was converted, I believe, in the early 2000s, like 2002, 2003 area. That's called the Liberty Hotel. Ironically, or not ironically, they called it the Liberty Hotel. And there's actually a cool bar in the first floor of the hotel called Clink, which has several of the original jail cell doors still in there. So that's kind of neat. It provides a lot of cool ambiance. It's a beautiful lobby, huge ceilings. The lobby I believe is the old kind of mess hall. So the ceilings are like 50, 60 feet high. It's crazy. They do fashion shows in there on Thursday nights. This, of course, was pre-COVID. Yeah. So it's really a fun place to go, grab a drink, have a dinner, whether or not you're staying there or whether or not you live in the city and you just want to go out for a night. It's a fun place to go. So Beacon Hill is really a wonderful area, some really great restaurants. Some great bars. For those of you who are television aficionados, there's the old television show Cheers. First I mentioned the Cosby Show, now Cheers. Cheers is the actual bar. Cheers is an actual bar in Beacon Hill. From the outside, it looks the same. The inside, it's completely different, but Cheers is also located in Beacon Hill.
That's amazing. And you mentioned John Kerry lived.
Oh, yes. John Kerry, the former senator from Massachusetts, a former secretary of state. He makes his home in Beacon Hill as well when he's here. So he owns one of those large brownstones. It's a great community. It's very, very, like I said, very walkable. It's small, it's not large. It's not even probably a mile. So everyone knows each other. There's like a general store and a supermarket, and CVS and that type of stuff. So everyone kind of knows each other who's a longtime resident of Beacon Hill.
And what are the typical residents? What's like the demographics? Is it families or is it Like who's typically, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that it's probably more working professionals. You don't typically see a lot of families in Beacon Hill, mostly because there's just not a lot of space. You know, like I said, you don't have a lot of single family homes. There's really no yards, outdoor space to speak of. So it's mostly working professionals, it's grad students, it's doctors and residents from Mass General Hospital. That's primarily who make up the demographic in that area.
Excellent. You'll have to give us a tour one of these days of Beacon Hill.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh, and the other nice thing is, as I mentioned, you know, you're right on the train. The Beacon Hill stop is the last stop before the train goes over the Charles River and into Cambridge. The first stop once you're in Cambridge is MIT, and then you're in Harvard Square and Central Square, where Harvard is. So it's commuter wise, it's a great spot, you know, to get over to Cambridge or to go in the other direction and into further into Boston.
Nice. Conveniently located.
Yes, very conveniently located.
Okay, that's why it's maybe a part of the desirability.
Yeah.
Location.
Absolutely.
Cool. Until next time, Adam.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Hey guys, if you're liking this content and are eager to hear more, I would encourage you to keep on watching. Click on the button to subscribe, and you will be the first to get new, fresh content as soon as I put it on the internet.